Welcome to Brightside Business. My name is Joey Young, and I help online entrepreneurs scale to seven figures and beyond. I've helped my family's professional service business go from about 20K to 100K a month in revenue over the past couple of years, and it's my pleasure to help other online entrepreneurs do the same. Today is a very special episode because I get to speak to Jessica Tobin. And she is a health coach here, been working the past decade as a Pilates teacher and a personal trainer. She recently added health coaching to her resume, so now she's able to help individuals through any phase of their wellness journey. And I just can't wait to chat through your services and where you're at in your journey. So I was hoping you can give a few sentence bio maybe about how you came to be in the health coaching space, and then we can go from there.
I have, as you said, been working the past decade in fitness. So I'm certified in Pilates, teaching Pilates, and I'm certified as a personal trainer. And so through that decade, I kept running into clients who would have needs beyond my scope of practice and my certification. And they would be going to these outside resources to help them with, things like weight loss or hormone balancing or, things like that. And they would not get good results. I would hear the stories about how they were treated and what things had happened. And usually, for the most part, people that they had seen, the services they had sought out, not only were not helpful to them, but a lot of times were detrimental. So because of that, I finally decided that I wanted to, fill gaps in my education, but also be able to help clients all the way through their journey. So I'm, solid in the fitness phase. I'm certified in the fitness phase, but I wanted to add to that, round it out with nutritional, information and behavior change and all of that. So that's what drew me to functional medicine, health coaching. And I found after reviewing several different schools for that the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy was a very robust program. It was a year-long program, which I completed. And then I am certified to work as a health coach, and I could stay there, but I am going to pursue my board certification just to make sure I got a nice finish to all of that.
That's awesome. I love that dedication to quality and making sure you provide the best service for your clients and a comprehensive service. I think that shows a lot of long-term thinking, and I think a lot of online coaches and wellness coaches, in this space, they kind of know one thing and they stick with it, but you're looking to provide a complete solution, not just weight loss or not just, physique, but more of the general wellness. So I'm excited to talk through whatever you're facing in your business right now, because this is what Jess has agreed to jump on and talk about. She's starting her online health coaching business, and she wanted to talk about how she can get that started up well, get scaling quickly, get clients, really whatever she wants to do. And I thought it'd be a really fun opportunity to record and then be able to share with everyone out there so they maybe can pick up some tips and also see that everyone starts from somewhere. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses, and we need to focus on, whatever the roadblock is at our current stage of business. So without further ado, Jess, let's jump in. What seems to be some of the roadblocks you're facing in getting your business started?
I am right at the very, very beginning. So I'm, beginning to, get clients. I didn't have a lot of capital to invest initially. I still don't. So I've been doing everything as on a shoestring,
Mhm.
and I've been able to get a lot accomplished. So as far as I'd like guidance in a affirming what I'm doing, but also then what I can focus on. Because
Okay.
there's, so many different pieces that go into it. And I really want to make sure that I get the best, return on my time and investment and putting it where it's going to, be most effective for me and my business. So right now I have and I've had this set up, all of my socials, my website, I have all of that set up. I have everything set up for, so with health coaching, there is availability. A lot of times there's the option to do it in person, but mostly everybody does it on Zoom. So I have that all set up, and I've already had some clients for that. And then I also, on the flip side, have things set up for fitness. So I have options for Zoom, for in person, so where I go to someone's location. Also, I have a home studio, so they can come to my studio, and I, have the insurance all set up, everything for all of that. So, and I've also set pricing for everything is the same. So I have health coaching priced the same as my fitness services, because my idea is to have, I have um, single price sessions, but then I have packages, of six. And my idea is to make it so that, I have a consultation with the client. And then from there, we decide, do you need six coaching sessions? Do you need six fitness sessions? Do you want to do a little of both? Which I think really is ideal, because, the fitness health doesn't happen in a vacuum. It
Mhm.
really is a holistic thing. So that's, again, the impetus for me going back and filling the rest of gaps in my knowledge. So I do feel good about what I have set up now. I'm slowly building clientele in both spheres. So I, but now on top of that, I have a lot of ideas on what to do to
Yeah,
bring in more business. I do have, like I said, I have a good social media setup,
yeah.
so that, I've got that part as far as advertising on social media. I do have plans to reach out to the local library and do free informational sessions for the community. And especially, I'm located in Irondequoit, and I feel like there's a lot of fitness and especially Pilates based studios elsewhere, but there really isn't a big Pilates presence here, on the lake, Webster, Irondequoit, and Greece. And those are such large populations that I want to be able to take advantage of that. Really, it's an untapped resource as far as at least Pilates is concerned, because there really isn't a lot. So I'm interested in figuring out good ways to hit those populations specifically, and what's going to be the best use of my time in getting, in touch with that. Because I've also thought about, because I also do virtual fitness.
Hmm.
So I could use it's not my platform that I use that's open and public to reach out to anyone anywhere. But I just feel like it would be more useful and effective to focus on my community. And I've another resource that I have been using and that has been effective is reaching out to um, other people in the health field.
Hmm.
So chiropractors, physical therapists as sources of referral to me, and back and forth. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
That's
So,
excellent. So, oh, sorry, go ahead if you had
no,
something.
I could keep going forever.
It sounds like you've thought this through really well and you've had some early success. What I like to call your type of business is you're kind of a fulfillment guru. Like you really know your service really well, when clients work with you, it sounds like they get a really good result. And so the problem is not a quality service or clarity on what you provide or the quality of the outcome. It's getting the pipeline filled in the marketing end. So like when I think about business, there's four different pieces in my mind. There's marketing, there's sales, there's fulfillment, and then there's raving fans and repeat customers. And I think that you have fulfillment really dialed in right now. So to your question about, how do we attract more business to these offers? My first, place we got to start is, okay, where are we right now? And then where are we going? So let's talk about, let's say, what's your current goal somewhere in the realm of the next, 6 months to 1 year for the business?
I would like to continue to scale up. So I really would like a mixture of both fitness and health coaching because I'm the type of individual that would like to be up and move and doing different things. I don't want to get locked into doing one thing all day long, every day. So I really, would like to have that mix and really just what I have going on now and clients that I'm starting to matriculate in, I would just like to continue with that. So I think in that short term, I would just want to continue to increase, uh, clientele.
Okay.
And I also do feel that, like you said, I really um, focus on my clients. I want to make sure that I give them everything that they deserve and that we're both, in myself, that I'm not so overtaxed that I'm now no longer able to give, my clients everything they deserve. So I
Mhm.
also do like the fact that things are slowly beginning to increase because it's just me. So I do, if I all of a sudden had a rush of clients, that's not going to work out for anybody because I won't be able to handle them.
Yeah,
So I would like that 6 months slow and steady increase of business and clientele.
right on. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it seems like there's a certain amount of slots in your calendar in the next 6 months you'd like to fill. That would be the goal. So we're not talking about other coaches you're hiring. We're not talking about doing this part-time. So how many clients would you need then on your caseload to say you're full in the next 6 months?
That's a great question. And that's something because I do corporate training as well. And
Hmm.
so I do want to leave availability for that. But I would want to be, Monday through Friday, most of the day full up
Okay.
until, and again, working around my corporate clients and my, you know, obviously in addition to the clients that I already have.
So
So,
you're seeing people,
oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say you're seeing people for about an hour and Monday through Friday, you want to leave some gaps for lunch and other opportunities. So I'm just using round numbers like
Hmm.
five a day
Hmm.
times five.
Hmm.
Okay.
That would be a good place to start. Again, because I don't want to overburden my schedule.
Right. And you do meet with these people on a weekly basis, right?
It depends. So that's also the thing I enjoy about this business is we work together to figure out when they're available, when I'm available, because sometimes ideally, yes, weekly.
Yeah.
It just depends on their
Yeah.
schedule and my schedule. So that also is important to have, so it's a balancing, you know, game because not every client is going to be around all the time. Not every client is going to continue their package forever. So then I also want to make sure that I have access to more, enough clients to fill gaps when I do have, clients that leave or are on vacation or, whatever might come up.
Sure. So for the sake of choosing something here, my thought is we'll give you a little bit of wiggle room by not overcommitting yourself. So if we say 25, does that feel good? And
Yeah,
then we can always reassess later, right? I mean, it's not
yeah,
like you're locked in for the next 30 years to exactly 25 clients. But that's a good marker because there's a difference between running a campaign where, it's very ads driven, so we get high volume and you're working a lot of leads and we're getting a lot of interest because you want to scale versus, all right, we're just focusing on filling up your calendar. And you said that your focus is slow and steady as opposed to diving in head first, September 1st, I need a full-time income.
right.
So that's important. So the first thing I think of here is, okay, we've got a goal. We got a timeline of about 6 months. Um, I so resonate with what you said about marketing. There is way more information out there than there are good ideas in marketing. And the problem that entrepreneurs have is not knowing how to market, it's knowing what to focus on and then sticking with it over the long term to make sure it works. So the first thing that I always recommend for something like this is doing that in-person one-to-one like connection building for the internal referrals. It sounds like you've been doing that, so you're not scared of calling up a GP or a chiropractor and saying, "Hey, I can do X, Y, and Z, help your patients, and I'll keep you on my referral list." So that sounds like it's going well, right?
Mhm. And I do have a background in marketing prior to this, so that's definitely served me well, and that I'll talk. I know I'll find the decision maker. All of that stuff.
Yeah, and that's excellent. I want to point that out for anyone listening who feels like they're not confident reaching out to a human being and calling them and saying, "Hey, I have something that can benefit people that you serve." That's usually a fulfillment problem. If you don't feel confident in your service enough to personally talk to someone and recommend it, then that's your problem. That's the first thing you got to fix right there is making sure you have a quality product. But, Jess, obviously you've got a great product and you're confident in it. So the next thing I recommend, which is the next easiest thing to get clients, is to do some sort of referral or affiliate program because the low-hanging fruit is people who love you and have experienced your service and want to others to do it. So have we done anything in that realm to get referrals on the back end or maybe renewals on the back end of your services?
I have definitely given clients contact information, all of that to share with other people. Getting their I've gotten a few that have given me really nice write-ups as well to use, which I haven't yet. I will. Um, but I have thought about some sort of discount or something, if they refer a friend or something like that. But I haven't put my focus into that yet.
Yeah. And I recommend that before diving too deep into the outbound marketing because that is just low-hanging fruit. And it can be done very simply. For example, your program is 6 weeks, you mentioned?
Yeah, six. Yeah, so I set it up as a 6 week package if they want,
Hmm.
and it's cheaper than if they do ad hoc, where it's a little higher price.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Packaging is awesome, and I love that. I think there's an opportunity at the 4 or 5 week mark when you're coming to the end of that cadence, having a bit at the end of the session where you just set aside and you say, "Hey, Julie, it's been awesome working together. I realize our time's coming to an end, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to lock in a discount to continue to work together." And if you do that before we finish, next week, it's going to be X percentage off and you're going to be able to lock in another 6 weeks, or at that point, it might even be beneficial to offer a larger contract. Maybe you meet less often, but for a longer period of time, so you have a longer trail of recurring revenue. That's up to you, but um, offering that discount right at the point where they're hitting their peak results and they're feeling the best about working with you, that's the perfect time to renew.
Yeah.
The other thing that they could hit them with at that particular point is, listen, I'm also growing and expanding my service, and it would be such an honor and the biggest thank you for me if you just wrote down the names of 2 or 3 people that I could reach out to and see if they're interested in what I have to do.
Yeah. Yes. So um for the discount, what what would be like a 10% discount? Because I that's also something I've tried to think of as far as making it worth their while, but not so much that I'm taking a huge hit
Sure.
in in pricing.
Yeah, I think the cost of acquiring a customer, they call it CAC, CAC in business. And right now you don't have any cost besides your time.
Hmm.
So I would think of it in terms of your time cost. How much time do you spend acquiring a new customer, and how many dollars is that? That's the percentage you should take off of them signing up. Because when they sign up, you're basically discounting them the same rate at which you would spend in time to acquire a new customer. And then your returns after that stay the same.
Hmm.
So do you have any idea what your time spent per new customer is at the moment?
It depends on, well, if it's on social media, this is a great ROI on my time because it really doesn't take very long and it has such a good reach.
Mhm.
So I do, want to continue to focus my time on that for sure. Um, and then I usually, as far as going the route of reaching out to colleagues and people in the industry, that's usually going to be I would say like at least a couple hours of my time because it takes, at least an hour to do, the initial contact information, the back and forth. Then there's usually I do, will meet in person a lot of times, or so that's another hour.
Mhm.
And then sometimes we'll exchange services as well, which is
Mhm.
also very nice because then I can speak, to their strengths and their abilities, and same with me, because it's one thing to, talk about what you do, but it's a whole other thing, and especially with movement and that kind of thing where your body is involved. If you can explain how it feels, and that's I think goes back to that, client referral and why that's so strong that you can have that first person experience to relay to other people. So that might be so to answer your question, maybe about 3 hours if going that route.
Okay. 3 hours. So, at this point, how much do you charge for your 6 week program?
350. So that's
300.
about 58 a session.
Okay.
And then my single sections are 65.
Okay. So 58 times three, that's about $180, right?
Mm.
Roughly. So I'm just trying to get down to a rough number. You can dial that in, but that's the ballpark. If you're spending 3 hours and 3 hours of your time is that 100 and 180,
Mm.
um, we can start to work with that. How does that feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a good place to start somewhere around there. And then, once you have that referral program locked in and the renewal is working for you, the next phase is, of course, reaching out and doing outbound marketing on social media, which you said is providing a good return on investment. So is there any particular strategy that you say was working the best for you, or is there any particular problem that's really bothering you right now in terms of your social media marketing, particularly?
I really haven't the little bit it's very effective. So
Mhm.
I really need to just do it because I haven't even done the ads yet. Like I have, and again, very low ROI on that because the ads are very scalable. So
Mhm.
you don't have to invest a lot of money. You pick your area. So again, that's a nice way to reach the populations, up north near me. And what I've gotten so far is just from regular posts. So I haven't even
Awesome.
begun to get into the paid versions of all of it.
Okay. So the regular post seems to be drawing in people. And then are you spending time either messaging people in the DMs or doing any outbound like commenting or engagement?
It's coming in through messaging, but I do, when I do get engagement with the posts as well. And so I make sure to engage with the comments and that kind of thing too.
Okay. So yeah, the way I think about social media, like any other prospecting tool, is, what is the highest leverage activity and how can we make that a system to do that activity on a repeated basis? So for, a solopreneur, a simple KPI scoreboard with a weekly metric to track, that is that high, lever moving activity is the best way to just keep yourself accountable and stay focused on the high leverage activity. So between the posting, the engagements, and the DMs, what's the highest leverage activity you've noticed that's giving you the results here? That's actually not just generating conversations, but is actually booking you those calls.
The
That
posts,
yeah.
the posts. And I do have in my website has a blog. So I do get it's really nice that it's set up so that I can see the metrics of visits to my website and everything, which I think most platforms have built in anyway.
Hmm.
So I can also see like I posted about this and now I can see how many people I've, reached or have visited my website. And I've made sure, I have all of my business information posted on my website at the top of my website. But that's also something that I enjoy is I'm a published writer. So I have already have a good body of blogs. So I also like to use that as a way to market as well because it's no one wants to see the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Eventually they'll tune it out. So I find that's a nice way to let people know who I am and what I do in a more interesting way. So, another way to get people to my site and bring people in. And I have people, a few clients that have gone to my website and read my blogs, and from there, they'd been referred by other people, but they did their research first. So,
Hmm.
and that also gave them continuing, encouragement to get in touch with me just because they understand what my philosophy is with health and fitness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. It sounds like that website is actually providing a great ROI for you. Um, so that strategy of posting then, is that going to be what gets you to the 25, or do you think there's a gap there and there needs to be some other activity in
I,
addition?
I, I do think there will probably be a cap, that, but I also don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket either.
Mhm.
So,
And I hear
I,
you saying you don't want to do ads yet. The posting is working, so that's great. So we can continue that. But as far as a next step, in terms of generating leads, besides the talking to doctors and then posting, I think a really easy next step could be, and this is where the art comes into the science, right? And with your marketing background, you got to figure out what am I good at? What am I passionate about doing repeatedly? Because you're going to do it a lot. And then what actually generates results? And it's the overlap of that Venn diagram that's going to be a sustainable, usable marketing
mm,
tactic. If it's something you're good at and that works, but you're not passionate about it, you're going to burn out. And if it's something that you're passionate about and you're good at, but it doesn't work, it's not going to work either, right?
mhm.
So, the in terms of proven strategies to increase leads online and especially in the health space. And I assume you're talking about LinkedIn, Instagram, those sorts of sites.
And Facebook.
Facebook. So you're going to find that a lot of people are on there looking for the health solutions to their problems. A lot of people, need that, especially in the United States here. So one possibility could be an outbound DM campaign where the weekly metric is a specific amount of people that you're reaching out to. Maybe it's X per day, maybe it's, 40, 50 per week, 100 per week, whatever's at your capacity. And this is similar to reaching out to individuals for referrals, but instead you're reaching out directly to clients to connect with them and starting those conversations in a very very open and connection focused way. For those who continue to talk to you, you qualify in the DMs, and then you talk to them about maybe here's a specific thing that I could help you with in terms of their health, and then they think, oh, okay, this person's an authority in that area, and then you're able to book the connection call from there. So, what are your thoughts on something like that?
Would that be reaching out to people that are already in my network or people that I already know, or is this
Well, because you have that already with your posts, this is going beyond that. So I think about people in your network, they're going to see your posts, and those who are interested, it's going to show up in their feed. So we have to find a way to generate leads from people who don't know you exist and bring them into the realm of they know you exist. So they can follow you, they can message you, and they can find out about booking a service with you. Um, so there, of course, there's many ways to make people who don't know about you. But one of the best ways to do it, especially if you're already active in posting, is to utilize that those posts that nurture people in your network, and bring more people into that ecosystem of your posts. And with an outbound DM campaign, you can do that for free. You don't need to spend any money, and you can also scale it up and down depending on your time availability for this sort of activity. So I have specific scripts and stuff for reaching out and connecting with people in a way that's not sleazy and that respects their time and respects your time. So we can, that's probably like a phase two thing, but I believe that could be a great next step for you if you feel like that's in your wheelhouse to be able to do and something you would be able to do every week and have fun with it.
yeah. And that's again something I do have experience with
Mhm.
professionally. So
Awesome.
would that be, so finding individuals that seem like that they would be a good fit for my business and then reaching out that way?
Yeah, the best thing that you can do is find people who you have verified are interested in your solution because you just don't want to be blasting out messages to anybody.
Right.
And one of the best ways to do this is to, let's say, on Instagram, find a page of an influencer who provides a similar service in your space or is just a health influencer. And you're going to find on their posts, they get a lot of engagement. And if you go to the people who comment on their post,
Mm,
you'll know these are people who not only are interested in this topic, but took time out of their day to connect and to network and to contribute to the conversation around it. And those are the warmest leads you're going to find on social media without going the ads route, which you said you're not
right.
ready for. So,
Yeah, well, and I don't mind going the ads route, but this is more, it's going to be more cost effective, it's, by time investment. But that's a really good point that I hadn't considered. So that's something, and I do have my private account and then I have my public account.
mhm.
So I've been, that private account, like you said, I've been utilizing to, advertise to my current, network of people and friends and all of that. So that would be, and this is, part of the reason why I have that public account. So then that's also a way to begin to interface with, new people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's going to be the way to grow the network because what I'm hearing, you say, Jess, I mean, a big picture, I zoom out, fulfillment is locked in. You're very good at sales. It sounds like when you talk to people, there's not a huge drop off than when people say no after having that initial consultation. So we're moving back out to marketing, and that phase is all about, how do I make people aware, people who are problem aware of the solution that I provide.
Mhm.
And so that's I think the stage that needs focus right now, because everything else seems relatively dialed in based on what you told me. And we could do the DM route, we could do the ads route. I think both would work really well. Um, it's just a matter of, what sort of resource you want to utilize at this stage.
Well, and I have no problem experimenting, so I'll start DMs. It's just that time investment, see how that goes. And then if I feel that I need to add the ads, then I'll do that. And that I do really like, and I've done gone the ad route before, especially to advertise my blog. And it's the same, it's just very nice that it's all dialed in and worked in now. And I've been doing this for, since the beginning of Facebook, essentially. So
Right.
it's been really nice and, using it for marketing all the way through professionally on and off. So it's been nice to see all the different tools that have now been added that weren't available before. So I really do appreciate the fact that they will give you all of your metrics. So
Hmm.
unique people, all of that, where your reach is, how much engagement you're getting, da, 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 da.
Yeah. Conversion rate, people who click through to your profile, people who followed from that post that you promoted, all the details are super useful. Yeah, I think honestly you could jump right into an ad if you wanted to. So that's what I would do. I would either do the outbound DM campaign, or if you feel more comfortable, and you want to invest some money, do the ads. Honestly, what the biggest thing you're gonna have to do, and which is the hardest thing for all entrepreneurs, is just picking one strategy and focusing on it for 6 months.
Yeah.
And that's the power of the scoreboard. And I have a template of that I can send over, but it's just a simple spreadsheet to keep track of. All right, here's Jess's week and what Jess can do to grow the business. Because we all have 80% of our week, which is just keeping the wheels turning, right? The grindstone's got to grind. We got to do what we got to do, the admin, the meetings, the work that we already have. But with that 20% margin time, that's where we have the opportunity to grow our businesses, where the non-urgent but important tasks live. And that precious time is so easily used on three different things, which means that now we're down to, 6, 7% of our time focused on one strategy, which is going to hinder it very, very, in a big way. So using one strategy in that 20% time is going to provide a lot better results for you.
Well, and I
Um,
think that's going to be a really good way to, giving it time to see how, to judge its efficacy as well.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is something I don't mind investing in because you get the metrics are so good with it. So it's not just you're paying to throw out information and to the wind and see if people talk to you. You can also go and see like what is points are effective and that kind of thing with it as well. Because so it's, like a built-in value add, which I'm sure is why they did it. But
Right, right. Yeah. So all the data nerds can like go in and just spend all day looking at the conversion rates and stuff. And I definitely count myself among one of those. I can get lost in the data, and it's a little dangerous sometimes.
But I do, and I do, like you said, I really enjoy um, creating those posts and ads and all of
Hmm.
that stuff. And it is good, nice too, because then if you feel a certain strategy you're using for marketing, you're looking at the numbers, doesn't seem as effective, then you can do a different post and adjust from there. So that's also a very creative and fun way to do it. So it's not just one thing all the way through. So there
Yeah,
can be different posts and different, as you go along in doing it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. That strategizing by testing, I think, is the biggest thing. And from marketing background, all marketing is just testing, especially online. A/B testing different headlines and posts, and so yeah, I think Jess, you're on a really good path. I think that, if you went the ads route, you've got some expertise. You went the DM route, that could be dialed in easily, and then you could save some money. Either one would work well. I think honestly, it's just a matter of systematizing what you're already doing, and maybe adding in the DM campaign and the ads. And for that, I would definitely recommend the KPI, scoreboard, which I can send over and we can have a follow-up chat about. But I think you're on a good path, and it sounds like you've got some momentum, a clear goal here with 25 clients, and everything seems to be locked in. But just we need to accelerate, just a little more, a little more gas in the tank to accelerate us towards this goal. So let me ask you again, what was the biggest takeaway here from today? What was the takeaway for you that stuck out?
I feel very validated. I've worked in studios for a decade, and it is a struggle to get studio owners to allocate time for marketing.
Hmm.
So I really appreciate that, 20% should be spent trying to bring in new business, new clients. And I like to have a focus. So it's very helpful because there's just so many pieces, and routes to go and things to try and do. And so having that focus of, all right, I'm moving forward with ads and having that target of 25 people, you know, all of that is super helpful to give me, a good focus to work towards, a focus and a goal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have expertise in ads, and so when I think about the Venn diagram of you're good at it, you love to do it, and it works, I mean, and you add in like the bonus experience, I think you can be very effective with a small amount of money based on what you're telling me. So the key for you is just going to be focusing on that, right? And pushing out all the other opportunities because you sneeze and then there's a new marketing website up about how to get leads online. And so you just got to tune all that out and really dial it in and stay accountable with a scoreboard. Daily tracking those ads and the ROI on each one and tweaking things. And so, yeah, yeah, but you know what I'm talking about here. So I'm really glad that we got to have this chat, and I hope that it'll push your clientele up, and you'll be able to achieve this goal here in 6 months. I'm so excited. How do people get in touch with you or find out more about your services? I want to give them the opportunity to look you up if they want to.
My website is alignrochester.com, ALIGN Rochester.com. And then on Facebook and Instagram, because you used to be able to say the socials and everybody knew it was just Facebook and Instagram, but there's all these other things. On Facebook and Instagram, I'm Align Rochester Fitness. So either route, my website has contact information, uh, information on my services, and so do my socials. So it just depends on how comfortable, whatever platform people are most interested in engaging. And the website will have my personal information. So that's where you'll find my email, phone number. But I'm also very active in checking my direct messaging on social media as well.
Awesome. And I'll include a link in the show notes here so people can just click there if they're listening to this on YouTube or a podcast. So that'll be great. Jess, thank you again. This has been so much fun. And to anyone out there who is interested in scaling their business, let's have a conversation like this. I'm more than happy to talk to more online entrepreneurs about how to grow their business in whatever way I can. So please reach out to me. That's Joey at joeyhyoung.com. And hey, if you're here at the end of the show and you're listening this long, drop a review. 5 stars is always nice. What is it? If your mama said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just leave that 5 star review. And if you have any questions about the show or anything, that's DM at Joey H Young on Instagram or Joey at joeyhyoung.com. Until next time, my friends, happy scaling. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.